Welcome back to our podcast where we talk about all things. It's giving beauty,
fashion,
pop culture, and a lot of kiki. I'm your pop culture baddie.
and your fashionable Scorpio.
So join us, Mommy Tiff,
And Chan.
as we get feminine chaotic.
What?
It's the name of the podcast, Feminine Chaos, duh.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Hi, lovers.
I'm Chan.
And I'm Tiff, and this is the Feminine Chaos Podcast. Welcome back, welcome back.
Welcome back to our podcast where we talk about all things. It's giving beauty, fashion, pop culture,
and a lot of kiki.
It has been It's been a min.
It's been approximately 14 days, approximately 2 weekingtons.
2 weekianas.
So we gotta catch y'all live.
We do.
We gotta catch the Feminine Chaos family up, the Martini clubbers up.
Yes. So I'd like to start. Bonsoir, je m'appelle Chandler. Como se dice? I went to France, bitch.
Okay.
I went to Paris for
She's
8 days.
picked up some en français.
And a little bit of el español.
Oh. You speaking Spanish over there?
No. The girls are on a journey to be trilingual. Bilingual gal.
Is it giving Rosetta Stone, Duolingo?
No, it's giving babble.
Oh. Mm-hmm. You got me there.
Yep.
Okay, so she's international sensation.
International.
I'm like, what have I been up to? I have been very much in the country. But
Boots on the ground.
right. I've traveled to New Jersey.
Okay.
Back home for Easter.
Okay,
She was
tri-state.
fun.
She's giving tri-state.
Right.
She's giving tri-state.
You know, very much celebrated that he has risen with the fams. You know, got my little mimosa for the Easter Sundays.
On that third day.
Amen. No, but for real. So yeah, I went home, spent some time with my family, which was very much needed. But other than that, you know, again, just a working girl. A lot has happened. You know, I think this lady named Beyonce, Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. I'm not really sure who she is, but what I have
She's
heard,
my kin. We do share a last name. She's my kin.
what I do know is that she is Chandler's cousin.
Yep.
And what I do know is that she dropped a Cowboy of the Carter. It's an album.
She made it for me.
Well, actually not country. Beyonce album, but, you know, it's giving country. It's giving country. K-N-T-R-Y.
Okay? You're tuned in to country.
I'm sorry. It's always me. It's always me.
It is always you. That's okay. You're tuned into...
A rodeo?
Honestly, that was the message. You're tuned into country radio news.
A rodeo chitlin circuit.
Okay?
Bow.
Bow.
So, with that being said, you know, I think we should go ahead and get into the pulse.
We're going to start where everybody wants to start.
Right. This is why you're here.
American Recreation.
Shout out to John Baptiste. Shout out to Tanner Adele. People who had their hand.
Shout out Shabuzi.
Yes. He's not on that track, but yes.
No, he's not.
I was like,
but he's on the album multiple times.
yes. He carried. He carried.
When I tell you,
I know he got a pretty check.
the end of Spaghetti should actually be its own song.
Okay, let's start from the general.
Yeah, let's start at the top.
Before we get into the minutiae.
You know, I'm a little excited.
How did you feel? What was your first initial reaction? Should we tell them when we listened to the album? Should we give them a quick story time?
Well, we listened to it at different times because in the car, I turned it off.
Oh.
Because I felt like I wasn't in the right state of mind to listen to it. I was drunk. I was turned up from where we were at. We're going to keep that close to our chest. I was turned up from where we were coming from, and I just personally wasn't in a state to intake that album, so I waited till the next day.
Okay.
So, but I had only listened to half, so I was like, I'm just going to listen to it the next day.
Okay.
And when the next day came, boy, was I in for a treat.
Yeah, well, I did listen to it while I was drunk that same night, and I will say when I listened to it drunk and sober, I had two different types of reawakenings culturally. My first initial reactions was, oh, this is bringing me back to like my school choir days.
Yeah.
I felt a lot of great harmonies, a lot of different vocals from different people outside of just Beyonce, but it felt very collective. It felt very choir-like. The theater kid, the musical choir kid in me was living for this album. The minute I heard American Requiem, I said, oh, we're going to church. The minute I heard Blackbird, I said, oh, this is we're bringing the girls together in a collective.
I also think the journey she takes you through,
yeah,
and then somehow still loops perfectly back into each other was really some ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
I felt so many emotions.
Yeah.
Going through that album. But let's start at the top.
Yeah,
let's move your mic a little bit closer to you.
I'm weak. So let's go ahead and bring up the album. We can quickly go through each song brick by brick. No, I'm playing. Okay, so starting off with American Requiem. How did you feel about this song? What was the first things that came to mind?
I think it's one of my favorite Beyonce album openers.
Okay.
It's not my favorite on the album.
Okay.
I think I have pinpointed my favorite song on the album.
Okay.
And I will let y'all know that when we get there.
Okay.
But I mean, no notes. And also, if y'all, I don't ever want to hear out of anybody else's mouth again that Creole lady cannot sing.
Who said that?
A lot of people, Beyonce haters be on the internet trying to say that my good sistren cannot sing, or her vocal ability is just like, it's good, but she's not the best. And
y'all are lying to yourselves.
You are lying, and I just need y'all to quit the cap. Quit the cap.
Stop the cap.
Stop the shit. But yeah, honestly, beautiful opener. It's one of my favorites. One of my favorite album openers that she's done.
This almost felt very similar to when Kanye put out Father Stretch My Hands. Mm-hmm. That's the same feeling and the same level of chills.
Very cathartic.
That I got. Very cathartic, very gospel, very much, but also too lyrically. This particular track set the record straight. Y'all bitches had a lot to say over these past few years.
So much to...
Since the CMAs, I've been wanting to put y'all in a lasso and wrap that lasso around your necks.
Y'all had so much to fucking say. And Beyonce said, she took that and she said bet. And I'm actually so grateful that y'all disrespected my sis
right, because we wouldn't have gotten this.
Because we never would have got this.
See what y'all did? This is what y'all did. All y'all conservative haters, all y'all racist haters, y'all are the ones who created Cowboy Carter. We didn't ask for this. Beyonce didn't ask for this.
We thank you for your service.
Right. Thank you. Because now we have one of the greatest albums of all time, period.
Thank you. And it's time for y'all to clock out. Next song. How you feel about Blackbird?
Blackbird. Listen, Blackbird is really like a love letter to black women in country.
Yep.
That's exactly.
And that's why she had all of our good sisters on there.
Right. She had Tanner Adele, Raina Roberts, Brittany Spencer, and Tierra Kennedy. All of their voices, that quartet.
Blackbird singing in the dead of
night. Listen.
Take these broken wings and learn to fly. Yeah.
Such a beautiful song. Beyonce. That was, because I honestly, when Beyonce dropped Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages, a lot of what people were feeling on TikTok and social media in general was, oh, we're not going to see those black country girls that we really wanted to see on this album. And,
I
it's
think that
too
was
late.
Last minute. I think Beyonce did this.
It was an addition.
Yeah, it was an addition.
And that's fine. Now, I will say, through learning Beyonce in her mind, she is more tapped in than a lot of us are. So I would not be surprised if it wasn't a last minute addition either. Just because I feel like recently TikTok has shown love to Tanner Adele and Raina Roberts. I can't speak how they've shown love to Tierra Kennedy or Brittany Spencer.
I'm a buckle
bunny.
Motherfucking
looking like Beyonce with a lasso.
Oh my God. And y'all, ooh. Hey, Tanner.
No,
I love her music.
If you seen this girl, I done put Tanner on to, well, I learned from Tanner from TikTok, but I done put Tanner on to all my family members. We was over there listening to Buckle Bunny. I put it up in the house. Last Easter weekend.
Tap into Tiziana.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how I feel about Blackbird.
I feel the exact same.
Okay. So
16 carriages.
we can make this one quick because we've already discussed this.
What I will say about 16 carriages and Texas Hold'em, when they first came out, I was like, oh yeah, they're cool. I didn't think it was like Beyonce's best work, but I was like, yeah, these are great songs. Hearing the whole album,
it makes sense.
It makes sense.
It makes sense.
But I think the album is so much better than the 2 little singles that she dropped. Like, nobody knew what we were in for.
She couldn't give us our the greatest hits up, because then that would have, like, once the album came out, it's like,
you're right. You
got to think strategically. She was like, these are 2 good singles that could be by themselves that don't have to be attached to an album. But I agree. I don't think those are the best songs. They're not my favorite songs in the album. When Texas Hold'em came out, I was obsessed. I don't know, something about that banjo.
I think
got me.
I liked it, but I think 2 Most Wanted should have been the first single to drop.
I'm screaming. She was gatekeeping that one for sure.
Levi's jeans.
Oh, stop it. We're not there yet. We're not there yet.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Next.
Protector.
Let me be your protector. I want to be your protector.
This feels like a continuance of Blue.
Protector. Yeah, I like this one.
Yeah.
This one was made for Miss Romy.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean,
I liked it.
It was a protecting note and letter to the child.
I like a couple songs a little bit more.
I think it's nice because it does remind me a lot of Blue's song when, Beyonce had Blue and then she made that song for Blue.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was cute that she gave
Brown Skin Girl or the other one?
Blue, like the song Blue.
Because she made Brown Skin Girl.
I know, Brown Skin Girl's also for Blue Ivy.
Skin
just like pearls. But Blue came out
Best
first.
thing in the world. I never change it for anybody else singing Brown
But she also made that
Skin.
for the culture as well.
She did.
Yeah.
She did. And let me drop this in here right quick, and we're not going to get into it because I can talk about it all day. Y'all paid the gift dust, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Okay.
Get right. Ooh! Let's move to the next song, My Rose, which was made for Sir.
Yes. A nice transition song.
I liked it.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of transition songs on this album. Speaking of transition songs, Smoke Hour by Willie Nelson. Basically, Willie Nelson got up on the mic and said, you are now tuning into KNTRY radio, okay? And
not country, but it's giving very much country.
Yeah. Country, petty, okay, if you will. But yeah, Willie Nelson, everyone knows that he is an icon in country music. He's also 90 years old. I did not know he was that old. So the fact that, he's still performing. My mom said that she saw he was still performing, but I'm like, this man is not going to stop performing until he ascends. He ascends. He ascends. I'm not trying to wish nothing on nobody because I want him to stay with us as long as he can.
He gonna be our protector.
Duh. But this is also a cosign, again, from somebody who's been in country music and is respected in country music. And I respect him for coming up on Beyonce's album and doing that for her. Not once, but twice.
If y'all, honestly, and this is another thing, we got the legends saying that Beyonce is it. You think I give a damn about your little raggedy ass think pieces on TikTok? No. Because you want to be the opposition? No. Because you won't let people enjoy things? Yeah. Sit it down.
Child, anyways.
Texas Hold'em. We're going to skip this one. We like it.
Y'all know how we feel.
Honey, I could be your bodyguard. Let me tell you.
The jokes about Julius, her actual bodyguard, just in case you don't know who Julius is.
I wish I had me like a little 1960 Chevy convertible.
Okay.
And I would
put us in scene. Put us in motion.
I would soup that bitch up with the nice real wheels, the nice rims. I'd put it in a nice blue color.
I see it.
A nice light blue.
Yes, the tumbleweed in the wind.
Yes. Except not on the tumbleweed. I'm on like the Malibu highway.
Yes.
And I got good speakers because I got them updated because it's an older car.
Period. New stereo system.
Bodyguard, it goes from 0 on the volume to 110. And it's so good. I put it on repeat a couple of times.
Okay. It does feel like went through the hair.
In my hair.
Yeah.
I just might even drive by Beyonce's house because y'all know the rich folk live up there.
Calabas.
Yes,
I love body.
Oh, the Pacific Coast Highway. That's the PCH. Because I was like, what is the name of that fucking highway? The PCH.
I'm dead. I did not know that's what it was called.
Yep.
I feel very much the same. It does give very much like you're in the car and the wind is blowing through your hair. I do like how there's been so much discourse about, because it's called Bodyguard, and we know that for years Beyonce's bodyguard has been Julius, and people have always made, just little jokes about like,
this is alleged.
Right.
Just in case you've been watching.
Jokey jokes.
It's a little joke.
About, Beyonce and Julius' relationship. Which I'm sure is not what we all think it is. It's just stuff we like to make up as fans. But also, too, we do also fangirl over Julius, which I think is so funny. Because I've been seeing clips of people cheering for Julius.
So I didn't meet Julius because nobody meets Julius. But when I was in VIP in Spain, Julius walked right by me. And I was on my phone. I was like, Julius! And he would not look at us. He was like...
He's so used to it at this point.
He was like... Child, anyway.
Right, but imagine being a celebrity, but you can't be a celebrity. That's so interesting.
The girls love Julius.
Right.
The gays love Julius. We love Julius.
Period. Dolly P.
I love Dolly Parton.
Honeybee. Listen, black people don't play about Dolly Parton.
They don't. Her and Reba.
Yeah.
Reba McEntire.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
They gets down. They do not play.
They do not play about the blacks.
They do not play.
They don't play about the blacks.
Boss and CEO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any signature blues?
Okay.
Yes, but Dolly Parton. But I know, first of all, Dolly Parton, she almost spoiled this album a couple times.
She did.
For us.
Her NDA probably wasn't that tight.
They gotta pay her a lot.
They did.
They had to pay her a lot. So, and she's been real excited over this for years. Has been talked about this in interviews numerous of times, that she wanted Beyonce to sample Jolene.
Whole time, this album was made 5 years ago. Dolly knew what the fuck she had going on.
Yeah. So, again,
Jolene.
She has been hinting at this so much that basically before the album even dropped, we already knew. There was no way Beyonce was going to make this album and not give Dolly Parton her wishes. Like, that would have been insane.
I crossed that road. Hold on, let me put the lyrics up. Hold on. Because I want to be sure to not sing the song, but I want to sing the lyrics.
No, you're fine. While you do that, I just think
I
think it's really funny how Dolly Parton actually dropped the physical characteristics of the original Jolene. She said that she had ginger locks. So she must have had like ginger curly hair. And I said, dang, Dolly, who was sister? But I just also too like how Dolly P is such a Beyonce fan that she said, I heard you talk about that girl with the good hair, referring to Becky with the good hair, as we all know is the iconic line. But
I crossed those valleys, highs and lows, and everything in between.
Listen, and
good deeds rose in like tumbleweeds. Jolene. I'm sorry, y'all. The album ain't been out that long. I got to learn the words. We got to learn the words.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
Not even. But it feels like it's been a week as much as I've listened to it.
By the time this come out, it will have been a week. But y'all, this album just be repeat. Can I get a refill? Can I get a refill? Can I get a refill?
Yeah. Shout out to that L. Varner.
Your touch
is intoxicating my mind.
Oh, okay. See, we don't know the words. That's why we shouldn't even be singing that.
But yeah, I mean, obviously,
Jolene, it's a 10.
Right. No notes for Jolene.
No notes on Jolene.
No notes for Jolene.
And it is I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I had no idea what to expect at all out of anything on this album, but I think Jolene, because everything else I knew Beyonce was gonna do some Beyonce ass shit, but I think Jolene, I was extremely surprised by it. And I was like, oh yeah,
I'm glad she changed the lyrics.
She nigged and nagged on that
album.
But
also, Dolly approved of those lyrics because I saw that she was a part of the writers on this song.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But y'all know, Dolly don't play when it comes to that check.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, it wasn't even a sample, that redo. She do not. She gets down.
Right.
She don't play.
Period.
Because when that girl, I don't know if you saw it, they took it off TikTok quick. That girl, and it was good. She made a rap song sampling Jolene, but the first line was like, "First of all, I would have shot Jolene," and they got that shit taken off the internet.
I'm sure they did take it down. I'm sure they did take it down.
Dolly was like, I was not playing. She was not playing. But yeah, shout out to them.
Okay.
Let's get into daughter. I'm a daughter. You're a daughter. Beyonce's a daughter.
Yes.
Blue Ivy's a daughter. Celestine, Beyonce is also a daughter.
Okay.
Daughters.
Joggers. I hate Armand. I'm sorry. I hate Armand.
Very much spring, summer. Okay, joggers.
Listen, again, I thought this was a very good song. I feel like it's a song that can make you cry. Mm-hmm. It pulls on the heartstrings. I saw a lot of people actually, when this album came out on Friday, this was one of the first songs I saw started trending on socials. Yes. Yes, a lot of girls was posting this song. It's not my favorite on the album, but I think it's cute.
I like it. It's not. My personal favorite part of the album is the back half. Yeah. Now that is getting, the replay value on that is through the roof. But I do think I like Daughter.
You know what's funny though? Like when Renaissance first came out, Act 1, it was the first half of that album that had me hooked. And then a year later, it was the back half.
Yeah, the back half got me.
So it's going to be interesting to see, because too, for me, the back half is my favorite. But in a year from now, the front half of this album, I could very much be obsessed and in love with.
Now, side note, I listened to Cowboy Carter straight into Renaissance with Del Resto at the end.
And it connects. I'm sure it does. Mm-hmm. Just wait for that Act 3 to come out. It's really, everything gonna start connecting.
It's giving rock.
It's gonna be lining
It's giving rock.
Better than some of y'all fades.
And also, let me say, Beyonce dropping an album that is an hour and a half is really pleasing to me and I needed that amount of material. Yeah. I'm tired of these little 30-40 minute albums. I'm tired of y'all dropping enough. 6 songs calling it an album. It is an EP, an extended play.
A project.
And it is a project, a mixtape, if you fucking will. This ain't no damn album. Y'all get in that studio and y'all be lazy. Get to fucking work. Get to work. I'm tired of the shit. You're lazy.
What did Kim K say?
Some of y'all just
need to stand up and go to fucking work.
You need to go to fucking work. Beyonce clocked into work, did you?
Ooh.
No, you didn't. Ooh. That's why she's the greatest. Okay. Next song. Let's get into Spaghetti. Let me go first.
Okay.
First of all, shout out Linda Martell.
Uh-huh.
If y'all are not familiar with Miss Linda Martell, she is an older black country star who faced so much racism.
Some people consider her one of the founders of country music.
And she is, as black people are. Mm-hmm. And she experienced so much racism, she stopped making country music. They would not let her into venues to sing. She dropped one album. I'm pretty sure she dropped one album.
Yes.
And stopped because the racism
Color Me
was that
Country.
bad. And then we have Shabuzi.
Wait.
No,
okay. I know. Go ahead. I thought you were gonna get more into Linda Martell and her history. Oh. Can I just say something?
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I'm getting excited.
No, you're fine. I also think what's great about Beyonce featuring Linda Martell is that truthfully she was really one of the first black women to find like mainstream success in country music. And she was the first black woman to perform at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, which, if you don't know what that is, it's one of the biggest stages of country music that you can perform on. So for her to break those barriers, and that's exactly why Beyonce has her on this album. For you to break those barriers, and to have that impact on country music. And then come to find out, when she basically got pushed out of country music, she ended up moving back to the South and becoming a bus driver. That breaks my heart. And so I'm very thankful that Beyonce...
Wicked.
Racism's disgusting.
It is so wicked.
I'm so happy that Beyonce gave her flowers.
Yep.
She gave her flowers. And I hope that Linda Martell will have more of a stage again in her life now that Beyonce has, said, y'all need to give her flowers and recognize her at the level of what Beyonce is to pop culture. So very thankful about that.
I think she hopefully will. Mm-hmm. But I hate that she had to wait so late to get her flowers.
That makes me very sick.
It is sad that
it makes me very sick.
Damn, you had this long decades of you just like hoping somebody saw you, and I'm glad it came, but like racism is wicked as fuck because it shouldn't have been this long. It's very ugly. Then the other feature we have on Spaghetti, Two Eyes.
Hey.
Shabuzi.
Hey.
A Nigerian American country singer with hip hop influences from Texas.
Yes.
He is a 28-year-old black man.
Period.
And he look good too.
He do.
And let me tell y'all.
He do look good. I follow him
on Instagram.
Good.
And he got a good, strong voice. I was on that TikTok. I said,
Interesting. Interesting.
I think y'all should tap into some of his other music.
Yeah. Also, too,
Vegas?
I was gonna say him and Tanner Adele are about to come out with a song together.
I saw that clip on Twitter today.
And I'm about to run it up. I think it comes out April 12th. Quote me if I'm wrong in the comments. But just know I will be listening to that Whiskey Blues. Okay, period. Continue on now.
Hey, Shabuzi. Anyway. Let me tell y'all about Spaghetti.
Okay.
I love the last minute of this song so much that I cut it up and put the last 54 seconds of it on loop. The last 54 seconds, Beyonce, because I know you be watching, Yvette, somebody at the Parkwood team, somebody over there. Yvette. Y'all need to take that little minute, and you can ask me to do the intro. I'll sign a good NDA. I'll be quiet. Okay.
What you got to say?
I shut the fuck up. Well, don't worry about it, because we can finish sign that NDA. You can hear it when the song come out. Don't even trip. This is real time manifesting.
All right, mommy.
I'm going to do the intro. And then I just need y'all to just make the song at least 2.5 minutes.
It does feel very short.
I would honestly love it if the song was Shabuzi featuring Beyonce. That last minute. You could call it like Spaghetti and Catfish. Maybe Spaghetti and Jollof. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But that last 54 seconds, I just felt like I personally got robbed. And that's all I got to say about that song, because the song is so good, but in that last 54 seconds, it just fucked me up so bad that it just ended.
You wanted more.
I wanted more.
Yeah. The plate was not full.
The plate was not clean.
Okay, yes. There you go.
The spaghetti wasn't spaghetti.
She did say plain Jane spaghetti.
Yeah, and they gave, yeah.
So, no, but for real, I just want to say, no, the song was amazing.
No, I'm doing the most right now. The song was good.
I just want to say, first of all, this is, again, how we know Beyonce is a genius. Spaghetti is actually a term in films as a Western low-budget film or a film that is directed or produced by Italians, or a film that is directed and produced within Europe, okay? This how, and this is not the first or the last. There's a lot of different names of tracks in this album that pays an ode to country history, to Western history. And so I just wanted to start off with that. Also, too, y'all don't want Beyonce to rap because she would eat the girls up. Whenever Beyonce raps like this,
she's actually spared y'all. She spared y'all.
I'm like, oh my God, we would not be ready for a hip hop album from Beyonce. Like, that would truthfully be terrifying.
I'm quaking.
No, because she would take everybody out the game.
I'm quaking.
She would take everybody out the game.
Quakers.
I can't with you. I love this song. And I honestly feel like in a year, this song will probably be my favorite song. Because the more I hear it, the more I get obsessed with it. But I, too, want it to be a lot longer.
Well, moving into the next song, I have been doing Alligator Tears therapy to the point where it is now in my top 5.
Okay.
And your alligator tears. It's good.
No, it is very good.
The harmonies are good.
Yes.
Great, even.
Great.
Phenomenal, actually.
Perfect.
0 notes.
No, right. Honestly, no, I like Alligator Tears too. I think out of all the songs in the album, Alligator Tears is very different.
I think
like I can't pair it up with like certain songs really complement one another, but Alligator Tears feels very much like it could have gone anywhere.
I think Alligator Tears also starts the pivot in the album where you're like, okay, we are slowly moving into another sound. It's getting up because when I first started listening to the album, I was like, I like it, but it's slow.
It starts off slow.
Like it's a little slow, and I'm honestly hearing this. I'm glad Renaissance came first.
Yes.
Because if Cowboy Carter came first, I would have been like, yes, this is good. But somebody made a good point on Twitter. She was like, baby, I was so depressed last year. She was like, I would have jumped off a bridge listening to Cowboy Carter.
And Beyonce knew that.
Real.
And Beyonce knew that.
She did not need to release that.
Yes.
Niggas were in a bad headspace.
Yes.
And, because when did the album come out? 2021? No, 2022. 2022.
Yes.
July 2022. Yeah. July 2022. Yeah, no. We needed Renaissance.
Badly.
But I also, because I think this is so lyrically, sonically, and harmoniously better than Renaissance that I think Renaissance coming after Cowboy Carter wouldn't necessarily have been a letdown, but I feel like it would have been like this is good, but Cowboy Carter was phenomenal.
This album
Renaissance was
different.
revolutionary, but this is like, woof.
Well, but the difference between Renaissance is it's very Beyonce focused. Yes, you hear queer icons speaking on the track, but you're not hearing, like you said, the harmonies. You're not hearing other people vocally sing.
Oh, so it's not really any features on. Is there any features on?
No, it's not any features, but you hear queer icons speaking.
Yeah. But I'm talking like Beyonce got songs with people on this.
And that's my point. It's not a only Beyonce single solo album. It is a group album.
Yeah.
It is bringing community together. Which Renaissance did, but in a different way. Whereas this vocally, you're bringing community together because you're bringing other voices into the space. But yeah, that's how I feel about Alligator Tears.
Move into the Smoke Hour 2, which was another interlude by Willie Nelson. Going into Just for Fun. This one is good.
It is good.
This one is good.
I think, honestly, I'm looking at Just for Fun, and I feel like Just for Fun is the transition into the part 2 for me of this album.
To like the back half?
Just for fun. Like,
because
it's like, it's literally like, the rest of this shit is about to be just for fucking fun.
Here's to hoping I'll fall fast asleep tonight and I need to get through it. Yep.
Listen, I feel like the first half of this album was very much Beyonce like, listen, I'm going to say my shit. I need to get certain messages out the way that are speaking directly to the haters, speaking directly to the black people who need to hear this is for us.
Genres are a funny thing, aren't they?
Right.
Shout out spaghetti.
Exactly. It was very much like giving direct messages, where this second half is literally, I'm doing this shit for a good old time. I'm doing this shit for the clubs. I'm doing this shit for the hoedowns, the throwdowns, the rodeos.
But also, Beyonce is country. This is a woman that grew up in the heart of Texas.
Houston, H-Town, going down.
She is a country girl.
Yeah, she is.
And I say this as a bitch that was living in Mississippi. I'm a country bitch. Beyonce is a country bitch. I mean,
Beyonce been country.
She been country. Daddy Lessons.
But even before Daddy Lessons, Beyonce also presented herself. Since Destiny's Child, they wore cowgirl hats. They wore fringe. They wore literally everything that, not everything that they wore, but a lot of the outfits that Miss Tina and Uncle Johnny made.
Because these are girls from the South.
Yes. For the most part.
And y'all not been to erase us. Now, while I was born in New Jersey, my mama, deep South.
But you're also primarily raised in the South.
My grandmama, deep South. Okay. I moved to the deep south.
The backwoods.
The backwoods, if you will, at 12 years old. If anybody know about country,
God bless her heart.
It's fucking me. I gets down. I do not play. So if you want to talk about country, we can talk about country.
Okay. All right.
But now we are indeed, but if you want to talk about country, we talk about country because we are indeed the two most wanted.
Stop it. No, because honestly,
Miley Cyrus.
Listen, all over social media, they had me cracking up. They said Miley Cyrus put her Hannah Montana wig on for this.
Oh, she did.
And
she got into her decline bag.
Listen. If I was Miley Cyrus right now, which she is very much reacting this way, this is a dream come true.
Yes.
My career, it could stop here. I don't want it to, but very much if you look throughout like interviews of Miley Cyrus, she talks about how much she looks up to Beyonce and she's excited to see Beyonce perform at whatever award show she was at. Imagine growing up listening to Beyonce, but also being able to be in the same space as Beyonce, and she invites you on the album.
And I love Miley down.
Love me a Miley Destiny.
I know.
Love me some Destiny,
and
okay?
This may be a little hot take. I know y'all wasn't fucking with her during the bangers era.
It was giving a little problematic.
It was a little problematic, but I think
I can overlook that.
We can overlook that. We can show grace.
Right. You know,
sometimes people make mistakes.
This is a no slander Miley Cyrus podcast. There will be no fucking slander on her name.
If y'all willing to let it go, I'm willing to let it go too.
I'm letting it go whether y'all letting it go or not.
Okay? And it looks like Beyonce let it go too. Next song.
Wait! I have more to say. This is my favorite song right now on the album.
Really?
It's between this and the next track, but this song...
Okay.
What? No, this is my favorite song.
I like it, but we not even close to my favorite yet.
First of all, I need y'all to listen to... First of all, I need y'all to sit there and close your eyes when Miley and Beyonce sing together. Oh.
Came out when they like the two most wanted and I...
We not giving it justice. But wait. Oh my God.
Hold on. We put the lyrics
Till the day I die. That part? Their voices say, die. I'll be your shotgun rider till the day I die. What? Oh my God. That part right there, chills. The hairs on my arms rise.
Smoke out the window, flying down the 405. I'll be a backseat baby, driving you crazy anytime you like.
It's that five light. What? Stop it. It's that part that really just hits the money for me.
Yep.
Yeah, my favorite song currently will definitely probably change at least 10 times, but currently, when I heard that, I said, yeah, this is what I didn't know we needed. But now I know.
That, y'all put some good headphones on and listen to that.
Yeah.
Let it seep into your ear and into your brain. Let it get deep in the chemistry of
Maybe
your brain.
Maybe not too deep because it's kind of cracked.
Let it get in your veins and let it change you.
All right. Levi jeans.
Post Malone drank a Red Bull, took a shower, and walked into that studio and said, how can we make history?
Listen, Post Malone.
Yeah.
Woo! The heat turned up when he came up on that track.
Yeah.
I said, Jay-Z, you better step up in the studio.
And that is a pairing.
It's getting crazy.
That's a pairing I never would have assumed. But now that I have it,
woo!
What more do y'all have
to offer? What do you have to offer?
That you can give.
Honestly, what do you have to offer?
You ain't even got to give it to them. You can give it to us. We sign good, tight NDAs. We shut the fuck up for real.
We do.
We shut up real good.
Oh my God.
We get real quiet. We gets down. We don't play. We
Post
shut the fuck up
Malone.
real good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I can't hold you. Like hearing that song, I was like, am I in love? Am I in love? I honestly I'm a Post Malone fan, but that song, I was like, this is touching parts of me that I didn't know you could touch. Levi jeans.
Yeah, no, yeah.
And I like to turn them on. I was turned on. I was.
AWN one.
Right.
Moving into our next interlude, our next two interludes actually, Flamenco and the Linda Martell Show.
Again, we are bringing worldwide culture, knowledge.
Bitch, I'm worldwide.
Flamenco?
Yeah.
A traditional Spanish dance and music. Listen, again, y'all do not understand the level of historian that Beyonce is and the level of creativity, the level of being a genius in the industry that she is. She does. She needs an honorary PhD
Beyonce.
in music. Mm-hmm. Music history, if that's even like a PhD.
It is a thing.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about PhD, but
music historian.
You can get, degrees in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
The Linda Martell Show.
Oh.
Another great interlude. We love Linda Martell.
Playing homage.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
We can make it do, yeah.
These boots were made for walking.
Hey.
And that's what they'll do.
Woo.
Listen. When I heard this, I said, why does this... Narrow. I said, hold on. Why do I know this? Doom. First of all, when she said... ladies, and then they came out. All I could think of was fembots.
Now this is where
off of Austin Powers.
This is where I start the album, and then I listen all the way through. Like this is where now we get into my favorite songs. Like when if I want to listen to something after Yaya, I have to start at Yaya, and then I have to get there.
Yeah. Listen, that joint right there, I want to be at a rodeo when that comes on. I can't hold you, and I've had many thoughts about this. After hearing this album, I really want to go down to the South, and preferably Nashville, and just go to a club where they gonna play.
Y'all let black folk in there?
I want to go down to Nashville and go to a club where they are going to play Beyonce, where they're going to play the Tanner Adeles, all of the black girlies within country right now, and shake my ass and click my cowgirl boots, okay?
Click them.
Listen. With my Levi jeans on. With my Levi jeans on.
Okay.
But yeah. Anything else about Yaya?
No, it's good.
Okay.
Oh, Louisiana. How you doing?
How you doing?
Another little interlude.
Yeah.
It's cute.
It's a good transition into Desert Eagle.
Justice for Desert Eagle.
I know. We do.
That little minute and a half. It
has been overlooked.
Beyonce. We couldn't get a couple more minutes.
There's a lot of things on here that I wanted a couple more minutes.
You didn't have a couple more minutes in your time? I know you did this a little minute ago. You didn't have a couple extra minutes in the studio you could add to this little here song? That's light work for you. Come on.
Okay. This next track.
Bounce on the shit dance.
Listen.
Bounce on the shit dance.
This is when Beyonce said this isn't a country album. This is a Beyonce album.
Bounce on the shit dance.
And this song reflects that.
Bounce on the shit dance. Bounce on the shit no head.
Running through the river. Running through the river when you dance. Dance.
Bounce on the shit no heads.
Listen, they need to play this in the club because I'm going to be shaking my ass.
Shout out Ray. Okay. Because Ray co-wrote this.
The more you know.
Ray is 21 or 22 years old. History.
Listen, this is a certified club banger. Also, river dancing again. Beyonce.
Yeah.
Bringing it worldwide is an Irish dance, an Irish music, an Irish collective. Listen.
Also, I would implore y'all to get on TikTok and listen to the river dance mashups. There is a girl. Her name is I think she's like DJ Chameleon. She's a Brooklyn DJ.
Yes.
She did river dance and no hands, and my soul lifted up out my body. Chest.
It left your body. It was an out of body experience.
It was.
No, I've also been seeing her on my TL, and I've been following her for a minute now. I love her music. Also, too, I think she works at Refinery 29, which is also cool because she's like a little media girly.
She does. She's a
media girly.
Yes.
She's a media girl.
Yes, I did do a little deep dive on her page.
Yes.
We fuck with her.
We fuck with her. Shout out to her if you're watching this.
Now, we're moving into my favorite track. Baby, I've been waiting my whole life for you and I.
Ooh.
Two hands to heaven, I pray free, forgive my soul.
Listen.
Two hands straight to heaven.
Yeah.
This is my favorite track.
Really? I feel like this is a fan favorite.
This is the cousin of Haunted.
Oh.
I had to, when I first listened to it, I liked it. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't my favorite because my favorite was actually the next track, Tyrant. Mm-hmm. But then I kept replaying it and I said, Beyonce put her Badussy in this. No, Two Hands to Heaven, it's I think it will remain in at least my top 3.
I'm seeing a lot of discourse that Two Hands to Heaven is the pure honey into summer renaissance for this album.
No, it's the Sweet Honey Buckin', like the
I thought they were
3.
saying
because they did it over the yeah.
Cut it. Go ahead, continue what you were saying.
I have nothing to say, but this is something that my headphones hear multiple times a day. So much so that it has moved to the top of my on repeat in my Spotify playlist.
It's like a little dancing bop. It's like you don't have to get up and like shake your ass, but it's a cute little 1-2 step.
They need to put this on in the club, and baby,
that's how it makes me feel. I feel like it's very much like a calm tune. Like you could just do a 2-step too. It's not really like I'm throwing ass.
No, I'm busting it open. I'm dancing real good.
Oh my god.
Who trying to get behind this?
Hey, enough.
Not enough. More. Beyonce, this song fully could have been 12 minutes, and I would be like, yes.
Okay. Well,
I feel like the 5 minutes wasn't enough.
Let me just say, this next here track, Le Tyrant.
This is my second. Okay, so when I first listened to it, Tyrant was my first favorite. Tyrant is not my second favorite.
This is my second favorite as well.
Tyrant?
Listen.
Y'all, I feel like the TL is not getting it yet. They're not here with us yet.
Really? Because I've seen girls love Tyrant.
I feel like I haven't seen that much about
First of all,
they're not here for it.
The minute I heard Tyrant, I said, oh my God, Raina Roberts is on this. Because I know her voice. And I said, oh my God, this is Raina Roberts' voice. This song, she starts you off grooving. And then that beat drops.
Oh yeah. And the bridge. Ooh, the bridge.
Nasty.
It's my bitch pose is nasty.
Nasty.
That elbow.
This, again, I need to hear this in the club.
Yep.
I need to hear this in the club.
When we go to that little party.
Yeah, we're going to a Cowboy party. Shout out to the Brooklyn clubs.
When they put this on, my hat will get removed from my head.
Ooh.
And I will turn up like I've never turned up before.
I'm gonna have to put the strap on. Ooh.
Yeah, I am gonna have to put the strap on.
The strap on this hat is what I was referring to. Don't be nasty. Anyways, but yeah, that's all I have to say about the Tyrant.
It's good.
It is good.
It's great.
Sweet Honey Buckin'.
And also, let me just say,
ooh,
the run from Desert Eagle to the beginning of Amen, so to the end of Sweet Honey Buckin',
yeah,
it's actually your faves, and there's something in my eye as I say this. Your faves could literally never. That one, it transitions so well. I really be having to check to see if I'm on the next song.
It does.
It just
you're
goes,
right.
It's so smooth.
Because I haven't figured out when the song has changed either.
No, I'd be like, oh shit, like,
we in a new song. Yes.
We actually 3 minutes into a new song.
Yes, the Desert Eagle into the Riverdance one is what gets me specifically.
Honestly,
that
Tyrant into Sweet Honey Buckin' is too smooth.
Yeah, but I will say, now moving into Sweet Honey Buckin', this song makes me want to get some fried chicken with spicy honey and just
very natural. Yes,
with my fingers. It makes me want to get ratchet.
And Shabuzi,
8 once
down.
Again. 8 once again.
Down. Down. Shout out Keke Palmer. I am a Shabuzi stan.
Okay.
He looked good.
He sound
good. And I think the Beyonce co-sign really did it for me. Also, I went ahead and I was like, let me just take a little look.
A gander.
At the, if you will, at the discography.
Mm-hmm. It's like that.
It's like that.
I haven't taken a chance, but I will. Y'all
and
know, I'm trying to catch up on all the country artists.
It sounds really good. It's good.
His aesthetic looks really good.
Yes.
Because I followed him on Instagram and I was like, I fuck with this aesthetic. Like, it's so black, but it's so country. Like, I don't know.
Shabuzi, let me be your video vixen.
Oh?
I'm just playing.
You weren't. Damn. Amen.
Amen.
What a closer.
What a closer. And it loops so
perfectly back to American Requiem.
American Requiem that I be forgetting I'm back at the top of the album.
Listen, Amen is just, it's the perfect closer because the way that she brings you back down so calmly at the end.
Play that at my funeral.
Right. It starts off so, and then she just settles you back down, and then suddenly you're back into American Requiem, and you're like, how did I get here? Beyonce, you are a genius.
I feel like genius almost isn't a good enough word. I feel like we need a new word.
She's a one of one.
You are Beyonce. This is why you are.
Beyonce's Beyonce.
Beyonce's Beyonce.
Beyonce is Beyonce. Let's add it to the dictionary. It's the new word, Beyonce.
Period.
A level beyond genius.
Yeah. I don't think, and this may be a hot take.
Ooh.
I don't think we've seen this kind of genius since Michael Jackson. And that is a hill I'm willing to die on. I'm willing to die on that. I'll go to war for that opinion.
I've seen too many people in the industry say that this album was life-changing.
Yeah.
People who work within this business.
Yeah. I'm telling you it was life-changing. My opinion holds weight.
Oh, period.
Okay.
Period. Period. This album, and it's so crazy because literally it hasn't been a week since we've listened to it, but it's already impacted me so much.
Yeah.
And just looking back on the way that Renaissance, like when she said she put out Renaissance when she did because she knew the world needed funness.
Dance.
That's not a word. But you know what I'm saying. They need more fun.
It's a word today.
Funness in their life.
More
okay.
Funness.
The world needed to be lifted up.
Although enjoyment.
Listen. The way Renaissance got me through some very hard times. Yeah. 2023 was a very hard year for me.
It was 2022.
Right. But the album did come out in 2022.
Oh, yes.
But it carried me through 2023.
Yes,
and 2023 was a very life-changing in many ways. I moved cities. Mm-hmm. I dealt with very pivotal people who made me realize who I am and my worth. I ended a lot of friendships. I cut a lot of people out of my life. It was a very transitional year, and it was very hard on me mentally. It was very taxing, and Renaissance got me through it. Renaissance is one of the reasons why I am standing here today. I can honestly say that. So, knowing that.
Oh, yeah, because we went to when we went to the concert at MetLife, when Beyonce hit the stage, I cried.
We cried. No, if you go watch my YouTube video, you see a clip of me and Chandler crying.
Yeah, no, we were crying bad, too. I almost could not breathe. I was like, oh, my God.
And it was on 1+1.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly.
She was like, she had to be 45 seconds into the whole concert. And we were
literally, I think it was like song 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And we were like, because she starts off Renaissance with just a bunch of ballads.
Yeah.
So I was just like, this bitch. I am really curious to see how in a month from now, 6 months from now, in a year from now, how this album is going to impact me in my life. I'm very curious.
I think it's going to do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Also, we're in the retrograde right now, and the eclipse. By the time this comes out, the eclipse will already have happened.
Yeah.
But the astrologically,
it aligns.
The time is upon us.
Oh.
We spent a lot of time on our good sister.
That's all we're doing for the pulse. We're just gonna go ahead and go.
We're gonna get into our speed round. Speaking of music.
Oh.
Tyla.
Yeah.
Tyla.
Yeah.
Tyla.
Another amazing album drop.
You want to talk about Next Up?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
As somebody on the executive team of the Tyla Stan Club. The E-board. This is some phenomenal fucking work. Ooh. Even opening the album with a song as strong as Safer.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it's danger, I know I'm safer. Running, oh, running, oh,
yes.
oh, running. Know that it's danger, I know I'm safer. I'm safer over here. Safer when you're not here.
Listen, that choir.
Her brain chemistry.
That choir.
It's off.
It's off.
It's off. She was really in that studio cooking.
It's so off, but it's on.
It's on. It's so off. It's on. I think the first listen I had, I said, yeah, this is phenomenal. And I
put it on the speakers.
Yes.
Put it on the speakers.
It's a good summertime.
Yes. Just in time for the summer.
Yeah, no, just in time for the summer.
Because, listen.
And she's so cute. She's 22.
21 with no kids. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for real. She, like, between her, Arya Starr, and Thames, those are my three girlies. Love them down. Incapable of making a bad project.
Listen, I'm going to say it again. She is this generation's Rihanna.
I don't even want to call her Rihanna. I want to call her Tyler.
That's fine. You can. But I'm comparing her to the level of the way that she has jumped onto the scene and has grabbed us and pulled us in tight.
Real.
Okay.
So moving on from Tyler, our good sis Angel Reese has declared for the WNBA draft and announced it via a US Vogue article. It's giving icon.
Yeah.
They did lose. LSU did lose to Iowa.
Yeah. Taking them out of the Final Four.
On Monday night, taking them out of the Final Four. It's okay.
Everybody needs to watch their mouth on Angel Reese.
Yeah,
too.
watch your fucking mouth.
I'm not going to get too much into it because we've done spoke a lot. And if you want, you can go watch my social media and I spoke my thoughts and put out the facts.
Watch your mouth.
Yeah, for real.
Watch your mouth when you speak about black women.
Yeah.
Anyway, Chance the Rapper is indeed getting divorced from his wife of 5 years.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
No comment. Loot season 3 with Maya Rudolph is out, and allegedly it's loosely based off Jeff Bezos' ex-wife.
There's a lot of support
they are
for
indeed
it.
doing a lot outside.
They said they're rooting for them, so
yeah. But shout out Loot. I like Loot. It's like a cute, light little comedic show, so
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
Kate Middleton announced via Windsor Palace, not Buckingham Palace, that she has cancer and that is why she has been out of the spotlight.
Yes,
so
this is older news, but we
do
need to discuss that. Yeah.
Yes, and this is a little plug for all, if we have any college student listeners that are in the Atlanta area.
Oh.
This weekend, because when you hear that, this episode, it will be this weekend. CultureCon on campus is coming to the Atlanta University Center. I will be there. So we have a bunch of really cool people. We have Risa Tisa. We have Brandon Jenkins. Come out. Come get cultured up. But yeah. Period.
Shout out to CCNY.
And let's get into our viral clip of the week.
As a lady, you should not be eating plenty. That's why I'm having a quick midnight snack. Midnight quick snack. Look at my snack. Quick snack over here. Just a quick, chop. Just a small appetizer with a nice fruit juice to balance it out.
Okay, so
Quick snack. That video has been all over my timeline. I saw Thames redo it.
Her and Iris Star.
Yes. So funny.
As somebody that be eating full meals at 2 a.m.
Hey.
Yeah.
Anzu. Quick snack.
It's a small appetizer.
Yes.
With a small fruit juice.
Yes.
Shout out her. And let's get into our TikTok news. Let's get into our TikTok news. News. We're talking Raymonte, Essence Magazine, and Cardi B. Now, they're two sort of isolated situations, but the link is Essence Magazine. So first we're going to start with Raymonte and Essence. We're going to gather thoughts. And then we're going to move to Raymonte and Cardi B. Then we're going to gather thoughts.
Okay.
So on April 2nd, Essence Magazine tweeted a link to an Essence GU article. For those that are not familiar with Essence GU, it is Essence Girls United, which is the younger, smaller, and Gen Z subsidiary of Essence Magazine. They have a team of about 5 to 6 people, and the rest of them are freelance writers, but everybody on that team is like under the age of probably like 26, 27.
Okay.
So zillennial at most.
Right.
But very, very young.
Okay.
The article was written by writer Kenyatta Victoria, and she spoke about why influencer diversity is important.
Right.
But in this article, she used Ray Monte's birthday trip as a vessel to talk about this topic. The basis of the article was about brands failing to act on major influencer moments when it revolved around or centered Black creators or influencers. Some of the people on this trip, if you are unaware, included Davey Bad, E. Kane, Malik McIntyre, and the corporate baddie DeAndre Brown.
Right.
One of the major moments from this article was this quote: "As we saw during Ray Monte's birthday trip, it continues to show the missing elements brands need. Diversity and influencers. Authenticity is essential in influencer marketing, and brands that fail to recognize the importance of genuine connections miss opportunities to build trust and loyalty among diverse consumers." After this article was posted, Essence tweeted about it, which is not something that they do often. They normally don't tweet GU articles, so I was actually surprised that they did this. But in response to this article, Ray Monte quoted the tweet and said, "Oh my God, Essence, thank you for the article, but this is kind of hypocritical. You all have invited numerous other influencers to events, but never gave me the same.
Right.
But never have me. The same with BET. I have a large following, and my supporters keep me afloat, so I don't cry over spilt milk. I don't need a pity party or deep dive into why I'm not marketable. Don't use me as an example when you contribute to the problem." Essence then quoted his tweet, which is now deleted, but screenshots live forever. They said, "It has always been Essence's mission to champion creatives, amplify Black voices, and ensure that we are diversifying spaces that are non-traditional, occupied by us.
Okay.
Our intention here was to introduce our audience to you as a brand and as an influencer. This trip placed you on our radar, and we believe that you are more than deserving, as this article stated." Now, I personally believe they should have stopped there, but they kept going. They then proceeded to say, "Super disappointed that this was the response to an angle of uplifting, learning about more, and wanting brands to recognize what you bring to the table. Everything isn't for everyone, and we receive that moving forward. We wish you the best. Keep going." Essence has been under fire about this response.
Right.
And to me, it gave the vibe of, we gave you this article, what else you want from us? Like, okay, boo, we did a little feature on you, what else? Now, some more info to be aware of. Essence has done interviews and, columns and whatnot on DeAndre Brown, and has worked with what others would call, quote unquote, palatable Black influencers. So before we get into the Ray Monte and Cardi B,
let's get into the Ray Monte Essence.
Yes, let's talk. I want to gauge thoughts. Do you think anybody was in the wrong? And more importantly, how should, because this has also been a bigger conversation, how should you yourself react? How should you yourself, when going up against a big corporation, how should you respond to things like that? Do you think Ray Monte should have went about it better? I think what he did was fine. And I think Essence was trying to gaslight him, but how are you? Thoughts?
So for me, thoughts. I read the article. Nothing was wrong with the article, but the article was not a piece on Ray Monte. The article was simply a piece on wanting better for Black influencers.
Agreed.
I don't disagree with anything that the article says in it. Where I disagree is that, well, not disagree, where I feel as though that Essence, and I agree with Ray Monte when he said that you use, essentially my name and likeness to, uplift and get more clicks onto this article, was because of the fact of they just used Ray Monte as an example, but they didn't necessarily do a piece on him. It was not a profile piece on Ray Monte. And I think that's what Ray Monte was trying to point out, because as people who are in journalism, right? First of all, if you look through the article, there's no quotes being pulled.
It's no quotes, no stats, no sources. It's literally nothing.
It's really an op-ed.
Yes, it's op-ed. It's
really an op-ed. And I think if they really wanted to sit there and say they're adding to Ray Monte's brand, they would have at the very least interviewed him.
Agreed.
And that's how I feel now.
Or at least reached out for a quote, something.
Right. I'm not sitting here trying to discredit the writer at all. I personally think what the writer did was okay. The only thing I personally would want to see is an interview. But where I think things get mixed up is the fact that whoever's running the social media, specifically X, Twitter, for Essence, had the copy depicted as this is going to be an article about Raymonte and his influence and what he means to Black influencers and how Black influencers are not recognized or, you know, valued in the same way as non-Black influencers.
But
and
the title also shouldn't have been what it was, which is like, Raymonte's birthday trip, Black influencers being paid to us, which is basically what it shouldn't have been that.
Exactly. And so that's my point. It feels very clickbaity. And so I personally don't think that anything Raymonte said was disrespectful in that tweet when he said, thank you, Essence, you know, for including me in this. And I think he did this in the most professional way, which is, hey, y'all have actually never invited me to Essence Festival or any events that you've put on.
But you've invited and talked to his friends, though. So it's like you're capable.
I personally don't know about that. But what I'm saying is, since you are making an article of making a case on inviting Black influencers, having better treatment for Black influencers, you would have thought that the first thing they would have done before even putting out that article, because again, they really should have interviewed him and ran it by him, was that they would have invited him to Essence Fest. That would have been the first thing to do.
Well, that would have been a way to, I think, right the wrong. I think the first step would have been, one,
well, prior to even righting the wrong, that's how they should have done it. And a way that they could have finished off that article was, and Raymonte's going to be on this panel at Essence Fest. Absolutely. But now that we know that they didn't do that, go ahead, Chandler. Oh, okay. Just to pick up, it. That's all. Yeah, just to pick up where Chandler left off. After that tweet, the next step Essence could have done, take that conversation offline.
Yeah.
Email his team.
It was very dismissive too.
And invite him, and then the next thing you do is you publicly showcase that you invited him. Mm-hmm. And that he's going to be on said panel, said event, whatever the case may be. That is proper PR. The response, I like Chandler when she read it, the first part of it, fine. That
the back half,
so disappointed.
Yeah. That
portion there on, it was very clear to me that the person did not run that through the social media team. Anytime you have a PR situation.
The one thing I know about working on brand social media, editorial or not, everything gets ran by somebody.
Right.
I think what happened is Essence is an older team, and they said, okay, he's being ungrateful. And I feel like, to me, it came from a place of, okay, fine, like, we tried to give him something, he didn't want it, so we're just gonna be like, wish him the best. Like, I feel like, this is not the first time I also think something like this has happened with publications like Essence, where people were just kind of like, okay, fine, like, you didn't want to take what we were going to give you, bet. Like, and I feel like that's what this was in a sense.
I feel as though that, to me, the way that it was written, it did not look like it was written that it got approved by a team of people. And
are you talking about the tweet or the article?
The tweet.
Which one? The second half?
The response. Yeah, the response of the so disappointed.
I think the second half probably went through a team of people, but I think it probably came from, like, the higher ups saying, say this, we're in a PR pickle right now.
But that's concerning, because that just made...
Because also the Essence team is not that big.
But even though then... I'm more concerned if it did go through the team, because of the fact of it should have never made it through. Because the thing is, first of all, anyone who works in media, including myself, when you have a PR crisis, you should not be responding until you have the C-suite level examine and HR level and PR level examine the situation. To me, the response was way too quick, which is why I'm like, I really hope it didn't go through a team. Because if it went through a team of people, that's concerning. And then there needs to be work that's done within that Essence team. And there needs to be some form of restructuring. Because that should have never made X. It should have never been made into a post.
I don't know. I think as somebody that goes through extensive amount of approvals just to respond to a DM and
that's
say hello.
My things would have gotten cut.
I know, but I think it went through a team. But that also is a bigger problem of one, who let this go through.
But that's my point.
2, y'all need a bigger team. 3, maybe y'all need a copywriter on staff. But I think that it is sad the way Ray Monte has been under fire lately, because I'm a fan of Ray Monte.
Yeah.
But I think this also gives light to, and this will be, I'm definitely going to talk about this when we get into the Cardi B situation. This brings light to a lot of people choosing to misunderstand other people when things do not sound the way you want them to sound. But you fully know exactly what they're talking about. And I absolutely hate that, because everybody want to be the grammar police and everybody want to be a linguist, but it's just kind of like, you knew where they were coming from. You knew what they were talking about, because I saw a lot of people on my timeline taking the stance of Ray Monte's burning bridges. Oh, we can't call people out when they're wrong now? I'm sorry, it's Essence, and we love Essence, but they were wrong.
Gen Z is known to keep the people accountable.
Exactly.
That is what our generation
and
is
you should
here
be
to
able
do.
to tell people and
Publications,
call out,
companies,
company, whoever. You should be able to be like, stand on it and be like, thank you, but this was wrong, and I didn't like that, and I like that Ray Monte did that, and y'all not finna gaslight me and him and the rest of the
Finish your note.
And the rest of the population, that what he said and what he did was wrong. But we're now going to get into Ray Monte and Cardi B. So Ray Monte posted a deleted TikTok video, and we're going to insert it for you to listen here.
So I wasn't going to talk about this anymore, because it was like, y'all know I don't like to drag things out. But the videos y'all keep saying, I'm ghetto and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And it throws me off, because none of my videos am I walking up to people selling them empty. They purse, give me everything you got. I don't think I'm as ghetto as everyone tries to make it seem. And what bothers me, as a black person, you guys say that I'm ghetto, but Cardi B, who doesn't look like a visible black woman to me, and this is no shade to you, Cardi B. This is no shade. This is just literally a fact. And we're speaking on colorism and all those type of things. She is very, very ghetto. She's way ghettoer than me. She's way hood gangster greasy with me. She was outside with the damn Bloods. And y'all don't say that this lady is ghetto. Y'all don't say that she isn't marketable. It feels like everyone can be ghetto and black besides ghetto and black people. And again, no shade to you, Cardi B. I'm just doing a comparison. My content has always been uplifting women. I've always said so many things about women, like to encourage them and be amazing. And I might make a little joke about a relationship or a boy or something like that, and I might say bitch, but that don't make me a fucking gangster thug psycho, man. I literally don't get that. I have so much positive content that I don't even say a cuss word in. That is so uplifting with so many people, so many diverse groups, ethnicities. So what do y'all want to put me in this ghetto sad black trope for? I am from the hood. Yes, I am. But I have layers to me. I can have a deep, articulate conversation with you. Stop criticizing me. Another thing, I have always been an advocate for higher education. I have always sent people in college money for food. I tell people to stay in school. Get your degree. I talk to people with their 9 to 5 and say how people with 9 to 5s push the world. I talk about body positivity, all type of things. So what do y'all be wanting to make it seem like all I say is shake your ass and turn on the damn sheep teeth? Because I don't.
That was the full video from Ray Monte. The video was then brought to Twitter, and Cardi B quoted it. And
what did she say?
So Cardi said, "It's crazy because when I became famous, people said I'm ghetto, talk shit about my accent, called me dumb because of the way I speak, say I got no couth, talk about my teeth, my braids, my 2 buns. And to this day, no matter what I accomplish, I still get called a stripper, all because I'm from the ghetto. People misinterpret me because apparently I'm loud and ghetto to this day, called me a hood rat and all. But when I sat down with Bernie Sanders and Joe Biden, they still called me a ghetto stripper. Why is it that y'all gotta use me to make... Why is it that y'all gotta use me to make y'all comparisons? Because y'all only see the glory, but not when I get dragged 24/7. Leave me the fuck alone and out of y'all bullshit." Ray Monte, so Cardi tweeted again, "I'm tired of people using me as their punching bag. Leave me alone. It's my day off." Ray Monte quoted her tweet and said, "Girl, why are you getting so mad at the comparison? I'm saying you are successful and reached heights that visibly black ghetto people have a harder time reaching, that act just like you. I'm not saying you don't deserve success or how you act is bad. I'm saying that if someone was my color or darker acts the same way, we will never receive the same awards or love your being very dense. Suki Hana, Sexy Red, the City Girls, the list can go on. You've had major campaigns that ghetto black women and men like me will never get, and it's a deeper conversation. I'm not trying to offend you at all. To not think you have it easier to be seen as marketable because you're lighter is crazy. So basically, Raymonte is... He's
talking about colorism.
He's talking about colorism.
That's what he's referring to.
So Cardi then quoted it again and said, "That's not what you said. You said nobody called me ghetto, and now you moving the goalposts. You know why I'm at where I'm at right now, because I took all those no's and recognized that what I had to change. I had to change the way I talk, the way I act, and the way I respond, and how I present myself. You ignoring all of that and playing the color card because you don't like me, and it's fucked up. You using all these other women. Sexy Red is making bangers and going on tour with Drake. And I bet money she's going to win Female Rapper of the Year because she's grinding and working hard and not letting people call her ghetto, distract her from the top. So miss me with that." So Raymonte quote tweeted again and said, "You saying I'm using other women when me and you had our talk months ago, and you said, why don't I call Ice Spice a Mexican? You bring up other people, not me. I'm not bringing in any other women in this, and I think y'all are great. It wasn't to offend or hurt you in any shape or form." Cardi quoted again and said, "Same reason why you felt comfortable calling me a Mexican when I'm Dominican, and I asked you why you feel comfortable calling me a Mexican when Ice Spice and Jarrell Jerome, Zoe Saldana are Dominicans, and you don't do that to them. You do it to me because you know that's what people use to hurt me. Same way as you use my name in that video knowing exactly what you're doing." He said again, "All I was trying to say..."
Is still going?
Yeah. "All I was trying to say is that her being ghetto or getting called ghetto doesn't hinder her career. Essence wrote an article and asked why my viral birthday trip, not sponsored by any brands, and y'all said it was because I'm quote unquote ghetto and not quote unquote marketable. So I'm giving an example of another person who was quote unquote ghetto or who has been called ghetto that has reached a high level of success, and it didn't hinder her, so why should it hinder me? That's all. Didn't mean to offend her or get her dragged. I use her as an example because her quote unquote ghetto and her quote unquote ratchetness is what helped propel her career, and it was being quote unquote relatable. This is not no Stan Twitter shit. This is real life politics in the black community and entertainment industry. I'm confused on why I'm getting so much hate." Cardi quoted again.
Oh my God. This is still going.
And said, "Here's my advice to you, Raymonte. It takes time. Right now, I get brand deals for over $5 million a campaign. That's crazy. I got social media famous in 2014. My first brand deal was from Fashion Nova in 2016 for $200 a post.
Oh,
you could reach any height from no matter how ghetto or where you come from. Just remember, the key is to be patient and be humble. Blessings." So, Ice Spice now quotes the tweet where she was talking about...
Ice Spice got into this?
Yes.
Man, I have been off of the app of X.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't know about this, Tiff.
I heard that there was a discourse happening between Raymonte and Cardi B, but I didn't get a chance to look at it.
Ice Spice is not like arguing, but she did quote one of the tweets where Cardi was talking about her being called Mexican and how she was like, "You don't do this to Jarrell Jerome, Ice Spice, they're Dominican." Ice Spice quoted and said, "No offense, Barty. It's because I have a Dominican parent and a black one. Heart emoji." Cardi quoted it and said, "I think there might be some confusion on what was said. I asked why he feels so comfortable calling me Mexican. I have no Mexican parents. My mom is Trini. She came out of a whole black woman. My father is Dominican. I'm Dominican just like you. I've also used other Dominicans as an example because, as you should know, a lot of times we get clustered into one because of the language. Also, can you send me that pic you took of me from the camera at Vanity Fair?"
I'm weak.
And Ice Spice sent the picture.
I'm weak. So, they are so silly for that last part.
So now this is split. So this is end of tweets. Now this is split the timeline and the community into a bunch of different conversations. Ooh. And a lot of things are coming into play. The first conversation is race versus ethnicity versus nationality. Yeah. And I will not lie, that'd be eating y'all up on a lot of occasions. The second conversation is colorism and non-black POC, or people of color. And the third conversation is what I brought up earlier, is purposefully misunderstanding people when you know what they were talking about. So I saw the original Raymonte video when it was on TikTok before he deleted it. So I saw my mutuals that were retweeting it. I saw the people in the comments that were agreeing with him.
The one that we just listened to.
Yes, the one that we played here for y'all. everybody was in agreement until they brought it to Twitter. Okay, that is first and foremost. But I think this also, we have to give grace in this situation. Raymonte was upset over the Essence ordeal, ran to TikTok, made a video. Yes, he probably didn't have to use Cardi B as an example, but I thought it was honestly a very real and perfect comparison. She started off as a social media / viral internet star, and then took it to reality TV, then was making music, and da-da-da. Her career was pretty linear from the start from where she started at. But I think what Raymonte was saying, I feel like this whole you're trying to push me in a corner, you're calling me ghetto, da-da-da. I think y'all know he did not mean it like that. He even started the video with no shade, and I know that don't mean a lot, but I don't think...
Typically when people say no shade, they mean shade.
But I truly do not believe that was shade. I truly believe Raymonte was like, look at this woman that y'all called ghetto, that broke so many barriers, has so many brand deals, but I think colorism comes into play.
I think that this is the issue. Because after watching that video, I could wholeheartedly see why Cardi's upset. And I can
think
see
they're
why
both
she's
correct.
I
think Cardi is in the right in being upset, but I also think Raymonte is not wrong.
I think he just didn't use the best language when he was trying to prove his point. I genuinely believe that Raymonte has a good heart in all hearts of hearts. I feel for Cardi because when she sits there and she discusses how she went to the White House and had conversations with now President Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders, there were people around them that still referred to her and treated her like she is a quote unquote ghetto stripper. And I think when you have been going through a daily cycle of people always belittling you, even though you are at the level and the heights of Cardi B, who's one of the top hip hop artists right now, and you still have people trying to bring you down, Raymonte, his messaging, it got brought into that because one, it's triggering her. You have to realize that. That would trigger me if I'm constantly hearing people say, you're ghetto and you were lucky to get this and that. Yes, colorism has a play into any industry, right? But I also think you also have to look at it too. Cardi has had a completely different career than Raymonte. Cardi has been on TV. Cardi didn't just blow up on social media, but she's been on Love and Hip Hop. And then she's also done rap. We haven't seen, everything that we've seen out of Raymonte yet.
But it's early.
That's what I'm saying. But that's my point.
Yeah.
And so I think in this moment, because Cardi B has been through so much and has been through different types of industries, I think right now the best thing Raymonte should do is apologize and just say, listen, this was not my intention at all. I was honestly trying to use you as a model and how successful you are.
I feel like he did that though. He
didn't apologize.
I think he did. He said, well,
you need to,
I don't think it was I'm sorry, but he definitely said, he was like, I did not mean to offend. He was like, I told y'all where I was coming from. I think my thing is, the internet is really on him, really crazy right now because it's just
it's two different situations that are he's connected to. But what I'm saying is, in that moment, when you upset somebody like that, you just need to say apologize. I'm sorry. Those are the key words because, you saying I didn't mean for it to come off like that. And truthfully, I don't believe that he did. I love Raymonte. Raymonte is an uplifting person. We see that every day. He compliments somebody. That's a huge part of his content, right? And so I think that in this moment he was just trying to make a quick example and didn't realize that his messaging could come across, and what he didn't know what would come along with that is that would actually trigger Cardi and with what trauma that she has had.
What would have been a better comparison?
I don't think you need to physically compare anybody. To me, Can I finish?
I disagree, but go ahead.
I personally, in situations like this, I think the best thing for you to do is just speak for yourself, because you don't want to drag other people in, especially if they had nothing to do with this situation. If he really wanted to use Cardi as an example, I think it really comes down to the verbiage and how you present things. And I think really here he should have just said, you know, a lot of people have sat there and second guessed Cardi, and knowing who Cardi B is and how she was raised and how she's presented herself, she has made it to complete stardom, one of the best hip hop artists of our time currently. And so I just want to say there has been opportunities for her that I hope I can see for myself in the future. And that takes, I know, a lot of, okay, let me dial back and let me think on this. And I just feel like Ray Monte was frustrated in that moment, and he just said what he felt without really thinking of how it could harm others. And that's personally how I feel. But go ahead.
Well, what you just said is when you get into semantics, because you see how you were like, oh, Ray Monte should have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. I said Ray Monte also could have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I just don't think he should have compared a person to
everybody
himself.
Everybody else I talked to also said he could have said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. So that means that we, the general public, and everybody involved, not involved, but everybody witnessing the situation understood what Ray Monte was talking about. And it did not take
because we know him as a
but
creator.
I also think personally, and maybe this is a hot take, I don't think it should be, but I feel like in this instance, when it comes to creators and influencers, you almost have to give examples, because people will be like, oh, just don't be ghetto, you'll get brand deals. And that's not the case for people that are brown or dark skinned. So colorism 100% plays a role, and he stated that, where he was like, Cardi B, a non-black looking woman who was perceived as ghetto, broke all these different barriers, and look at her now. I think the comparison needed to be made for people to be like, oh, because for some people, and I even saw it in TikTok comments, for some people it clicked and they were like, oh yeah, not only is she a woman, she's a lighter skinned person. Ray Monte would have never got what she got because he's not light skinned, nor is he a woman. So he's a feminine man. They hate femininity. And also he's a brown skinned, dark skinned man. He never would have got the same opportunities as her. So I think in this case, and also I hate the fact that this happened because Essence is getting off the hook and they shouldn't be. But I think that 100% the comparison needs to be made for it to click in other people's brains. And I don't know. I think personally this was the best comparison to make. Some other people said Santana, like Saucy Santana, and I was like, okay, that would have been fair-ish. I think Dev the Menace, Devin, would have been a good comparison, and we make the same type of content, and look at how nobody's giving us brand deals. Nobody's done this for us. Nobody has done this for us. That would have been a fair one, but I think in this case, Cardi B was a good.
I personally, I don't believe in using people as an examples, because it's always going to go back to, if I speak on somebody, how could this trigger them? Because to me, this response from Cardi, it clearly triggered her. And I know that was, again, not Ray Monte's, intent. And truthfully, to me, that's the response that I would have given. Yes, you could say that's semantics. I'm just giving an example of how I would have said it. But what I'm saying is that I personally don't think that Ray Monte should have compared himself to a specific name, because you don't know how that's going to play out. And here we saw how it played out to other celebrities, whoever he refers himself to. It could have been another influencer. I just personally don't think that he should have specifically said names. Now, if he wanted to really say like the colorism piece, which I think is very valid, we know in any industry that colorism always plays a piece on who is quote unquote physically or a palatable black person or a presentable black person for a white audience, which even then, to me, Cardi B does personally look black. I've always perceived her as black. I didn't know she was Dominican until she told us. So that's personally me. And so, but also too, Dominicans look a myriad of races, including black people. So that's also just a different topic and a different conversation. But for me, I just have to say, I'm not upset with Ray Monte. I'm still going to support him. But I just think that in this situation, the best way he could have gone about it was just, I apologize. This is not how I meant for it to play out. I just wanted to say, I'm seeing you, and I think that you should be recognized for your accomplishments. And I was just trying to, give an example. That's all it could have been. And this, I mean, on both sides, I hate to see this being dragged out and played out the way it was on Twitter, because every time you read a new tweet, I was like, damn.
Cardi B aside,
another new tweet.
Do you think Remonte was wrong? Cardi B aside,
if he would have not included Cardi B, I would have been fine with what he had to say. I agree. I personally think that, I mean, I said it, like, there's influencers who are black who are considered palatable. Now, I'm not going to use examples because I don't, you know what I'm saying? But my point is that I think, like I said, from the heart of it, Remonte meant no harm. He really was just, he was upset, and he came to TikTok upset, as he should. But I think it just got pulled away. And like Chandler said, I don't want us to lose focus on the situation between him and Essence with this. I think this is a completely different situation. And I hope that one day, him and Cardi can, push this off to the side, and maybe we could see them make content together in the future, because I would personally like to see that.
She won't. I don't think she will. But
I mean, people get forgiven all the time. I don't doubt it, because of the fact of, clearly if he compared himself to her, he sees himself within her.
Yeah, but I don't want to get to the point where I'm repeating myself, but yeah, I agree. I just think this brings in a larger conversation. Remonte aside,
it had
but
a
also
lot of
included.
points.
He had a lot of points.
Yeah.
I think Remonte aside, but also included a couple things: race versus nationality versus ethnicity. We gotta get it. We gotta get it. 2, colorism and privilege play a role in everybody's success. I know people don't want to talk about that. I know people like to act like that's not real. Colorism plays a role in everybody's
100%
success.
100% does.
Everyone's. And people's non-success. Okay? So I think that's first and foremost. And I also hate that Cardi had every right to be upset. That I do not want to take away from her. I think she has a right to be upset. I think she had a right to respond. But I also did not like how she did not address the colorism piece, because people have been asking Cardi to address the colorism piece for a long time now. People have been asking, are you black, for a long time now. And I don't want to get into that, because that also, that's a long conversation that we could stay on for a long time. So I don't want to get into that. But yeah, I think y'all knew what Remonte was saying. Some of y'all on the internet were trying to do the most. I think both of them were actually correct, because two things can be true at the same time.
I think the intent truthfully speaks volumes. Like, if you know Remonte, he didn't mean no disrespect.
But even if you didn't know him and just watched the video, you knew what he was talking about. I feel like it wasn't that hard to grasp.
Yes. No, I understand. I know what you mean by, like, you understood his point that he was trying to make. I just think it's the delivery. That's really what it is.
And sure, yeah, and yeah, I will give you that, and that's where we get into semantics. But Remonte, we love you, boo.
Yeah. No, honestly, like,
BD Trey, little brother, we do love you. This is a Remonte stand account.
I would say it's a Remonte stand account. Yeah. I followed him for a long time. And
there's gonna be the beginning.
There's gonna be many times where, like, as black influencers, exactly.
Fanita, she bounced back from the Tarte situation.
We're all gonna have our issues, praying that in the future, if we have ours, I pray that we are able to bounce back with however that looks. You never know, because the internet can always perceive things differently, as we see in this situation, right? Any fucking ways, let's move on.
Running that by my team first. And somebody will be like, bitch, don't fucking post that. I'm like, thank you for this message. Okay.
Right. I'd be having to send Chandler videos about something.
Yeah, we'd be having to do.
I'd be like, this sounds bad.
I think a quick vibe check would save y'all. This is not about Remonte, but a quick appetizer to your friends would save y'all a lot of bullshit. This is not about Remonte. This is just about some of y'all putting in some shit that should not be
all
on
of us.
the TL.
This is all of us.
Yeah, run your shit by your friends. But do you have any fashion fodder? I'm gonna let y'all know, we spent a lot of time on Cowboy Carter. And we spent a lot of time on TikTok news and the Pulse. So we're going to skip the fashion and beauty segment because not a lot was going on. But you got some fashion fodder?
Fashion fodder. I just want to say shout out to not only Beyonce, but Tanner Adele really putting us onto, like, what I'm seeing as glam cowboy.
Yes, cowboy glam.
Yes, cowboy glam. I personally feel like I'm starting to slowly bring some like Western and very much country fashion into my caliber, especially now knowing that tour is one day going to be dropped. I want to have outfits prepared. No, but truthfully,
Honestly,
I
with
like.
all the,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. With all the rumors out, by the time this episode drops, the tour dates also may be dropping.
She better not. She better. Beyonce.
We're
Beyonce.
poor.
Beyonce, looking me in my eyes.
We're
sister.
poor.
Listen, I done bought Renaissance Act 1 tickets. Okay.
I bought 2 Renaissance Act 1 tickets. Both of them on the floor.
Right. I done bought Sacred Hair Care. I done brought the Essence magazine.
Yeah, I got that. We got hold it up. There we go. She's right there. This was $30. Beyonce,
I beg
and
of you.
Yvette and the Parkwood team, if you would like to invite the Feminine Chaos podcast to the one of the tour dates of the Cowboy Carter Act 2 tour, we would indulge.
Oh, we would eat that
Also,
content
like
up.
we
Don't
said
even blame me.
earlier, we shut the fuck up real good.
Yeah.
We do sign NDAs.
Yes.
And we keep it quiet. We keep it on the low. We gets down. We do not play.
Beyonce. Listen.
We do not play. So if you call us tomorrow
To do content.
and tell us that you want us to be
I
any
will do it
fucking
for
where,
free.
we will do what we need to do. You can call me and tell me you want me to quit my job. I shut the fuck up real good. I want you to know that.
Release your job. Release your top.
And I will. Yvette, my phone number is beep, 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 beep. But email us. We got you. Email
Right,
us.
right.
FeminineChaosPodcast@gmail.com.
Period.
We got you.
All right.
Let's get into the Martini Club. Okay, ladies. So this week on the Martini Club, we have a personal essay from The Cut called... What's it called? Sorry, y'all. I feel like I cannot read. Called The Case for Marrying an Older Man. This is a new article from The Cut that has been taking over the internet.
I've seen
it.
some
Was
of
written
it.
by a woman named Gracie Sophia Christia, who's 27. She lives in London and in Miami, and she speaks about how a woman's life is all work and no rest, but an age gap relationship can help with that. Now, you don't have to read this story. You can listen to it in podcast or audio version on the Cut's website. It's 27 minutes. That's how I listened to it. And honestly, I listened to it and I had to keep pausing because I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I want to go to the hot facts.
Okay.
And I want to ask a couple questions.
Okay.
And we can go from there.
All right.
So the story opens up with the woman, Gracie, 27 years old, and she's talking about how her and her husband play the lottery every summer in the south of France. They do it badly, but it's a tradition.
Okay.
She then proceeds to talk about her husband. He's and this is now, and I quote, "He's 10 years older than I am. I chose him on purpose, not by chance. As far as life decisions go, on balance, I recommend it. When I was 20 and a junior at Harvard College, a series of great ironies began to mock me. I could study all I wanted, prove myself as exceptional as I liked, and still my fiercest advantage remained so universal, and it deflated my other plans, my youth." So she says, I can craft an ideal existence and spend years of sleepless nights trying to have status, or she could just marry into it early. So this is now where she starts Project Get a Man. Mm-hmm. That's not the name of it, but in the article they call it the project. So I'm now calling it Project not only Get a Man, but get a wealthy man. Okay. A man with coin to last. Last a couple lifetimes. Like at that GW, that generational wealth. Okay.
Old money.
That old money. So now she makes it her mission to snag an older man. So much so that at Harvard College, she spends her time in the Harvard Business School trying to get her paws on some of the country's most eligible bachelors. Because it is not a secret that when you leave Harvard Business School, you probably gonna be rich. And if you go to Harvard Business School, you probably are rich. A lot of niggas that go to Harvard Business School.
What they say, 70% of admission rates is from people who
like
have
legacy kids and
our
niggas that got
legacy.
money. Yeah. Oh yeah, believe that. So she puts herself in places to be seen. She sneaks into grad school events. She hangs around in the library, and boom, one night she's leaving a grad school event. She's about to get in the Uber. She sees this man rocking out of a revolving door. And she says, that's my husband. She walks up and go gets him. And then lo and you behold, 3 years later, she doesn't marry that man. Now, before we get to the marriage part, she describes herself as somebody that has high breasts. And this is now, I'm quoting this. I had high breasts, most of my eggs, plausible deniability when it came to my purity, a flush ponytail, a pep in my step that had yet to run out, and apologies to progress, but older men still desired those things.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, she said that's why she got chose.
Okay.
So over the course of the story, in the beginning, what she's describing herself is almost, to me, it's giving trad wife. For those that are not familiar with the term trad wife, it is the traditional wife, the homemaker. I cook, I clean, I rear the kids, like I do.
A non-modern woman.
Yes, a traditional woman, a traditional wife. So, and I quote again, and I think that this is a very important quote. She says, I used to love men like men love women. That is, not very well, and with hunger driven only by my own inadequacies, not him. In those early days, I spoke fondly of my family, stocked my fridge with his favorite pasta, folded his clothes more neatly than I have ever since, wrote his mother a thank you note for hosting me in his native France, something befitting a daughter-in-law. It worked, I meant it. After graduation and my fellowship at Oxford, I stayed in Europe for his career and married him at 23. Of course, I fell in love. Romances have a setting. I had only intervened to place myself well. Mainly, I spotted the precise trouble of being a woman ahead of time, tried to surf it into letting it drown me on principle. I had grown bored of discussions of fair and unfair, equal or unequal, and preferred instead to call it a thing of ease. So she spoke a lot in this article about how marriage is a contract and a business deal, and sometimes there is love involved, but inevitably it's transactional.
I agree with that.
Yes. But in the context of this article, I don't agree. But just a standalone sentence, I do agree. She also says how women at her age, 27, indulge in partnership and not marriage, but partnership leaves room for things to be more equal, because if things are more equal, you compromise more and men will take more with you. The quote from the article is, the problem with the partner, however, is if you're equal in all things, you compromise in all things, and men are too skilled at taking. The underlying basis of this entire article is, according to the writer, and this is what I perceived it to be, but then when I started watching a bunch of videos, this is what also everybody else perceives it to be.
Okay.
If you date a man your own age, you'll be stuck with building him up for the next woman. So instead, to skip the stage of making a man ready for marriage to not you, or to a relationship, or making him ready for a relationship with another woman, you date older, so that work that's been done on him does not fall on you because it's been done already. The next key point and this is really took Twitter by storm. She says, and I quote, my husband isn't my partner. He's my mentor, my lover, and in only certain contexts, my friend.
Ooh, you had me in the first half.
Yeah. So, at the basis, this article is about wealth, perception, and privilege.
Okay. 3
things of which a lot of people don't have. You had the luxury and the privilege to be able to run around the business school and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna find me a rich man, and not have to care about responsibilities, not have to care about paying bills and things like that. That is not a reality of a lot of other people. Wealth comes into play. Rich people rarely marry outside of their rich and wealthy circle, especially people with old money. It is very, very rare. So she probably is somebody that has money. Perception, the way she was describing herself, she probably is a beautiful woman. So it's like you have people, fiending for you, fonding for you anyway. So it's just kind of like, regardless, she probably would have married a rich man or a wealthy man or somebody well-to-do regardless. I personally didn't like the fact of how it almost felt backhanded in the way that she was talking down to her friends also. But I think this is not
That's the part I don't like. Yeah.
Exactly. I also think this is not about an age gap relationship, because while 23 and 32 is a little crazy, I've seen it before. It could be worse. Because I've seen 23 and 45. I've seen a lot older. So it's not that much of an age gap, but I just think that, like, girl, if you want to live a life of ease, that's fine. But I don't think you need to bring down everybody else when you do that. Because it almost sounded a little that's getting to me. It felt ageist.
It did feel ageist. So for me, when looking at this situation, I'm going to start at the top where she describes herself physically. I personally, when she's describing herself, it feels as though when she says things like high breast, I feel as though that feels a little bit ageist. It feels very much like you're saying if you didn't have perky boobs, because that's how I perceived it, is that you wouldn't have gotten chosen. And just the other way that you were explaining your physical attributes, like there's so much more to you.
It almost gave very much like, I'm so young, I'm so little, look at me, like, right. I'm a young girl, you can't be with these elderly bitches. That's what it gave.
But also too, it's just like, so if you didn't have a high chest, did you not think that you deserve to get chosen? Mm-hmm. That's where I have an issue with that particular part. Now, when she gets into like basically saying the benefits of dating an older man, I'm not going to sit here and dispute that. That is your experience, right? Personally, me, when I have dated older men, there's oftentimes a question in my mind that is very much, why are you interested in someone like me? There's only very little topics that we can discuss. And that being said, are you here because of the fact that you can mold me, you can manipulate me? That's something that's going to be in the back of my mind. Now, I'm not saying that's the situation for every relationship where there's an age gap. I'm not saying that at all. But that is something that does come to mind when looking at this particular situation. I don't like how you belittled your friends. I think you belittled your friends so that you can elevate your perspective and the way that you went about finding love.
And you thought you were better.
Right. And to me, I think considering you are 27, you still don't know who you are. I'm going to just call a spade a spade. I feel like your 20s, I feel like your 20s is very much a time where you're trying to learn who you are. You're trying to figure out how to operate life, how to pay bills, there's so many learning experiences within your 20s. And I think you sitting there and judging your friends is unfair. I'm going to just say that. Also, too, a lot of people date within their age range, and you shouldn't sit there and belittle them for dating in their age range either, because at the end of the day, people might actually find healthy and loving relationships within their age range in their 20s. Who are we to say that they didn't, right? And so I do see your point of you've had experiences with men who are within your age range that you felt as though you might have to have raised.
But also, if you're having... Because she said she started this little project at 20. If you're having those experiences at 18, 19, that's probably not really a good indicator.
But also, too, and I'm going to be very honest with you, why are you so focused on marriage and finding love?
I don't think
it was very young age.
I don't think it's a finding love thing. I think it's I want to be put up and set up so I can, if I do work, it's like, it's cool. Like, I'm just like it's very low stakes. I can do what I want. Because in the article, she stated how she was like, yeah, my friends have to sit at desks all day and do spreadsheets. But she was like, I can be a writer because my man takes care of me and he pays the rent.
That comes from a mindset of privilege.
And she was like, exactly. And she was like, sometimes there are implications because he pays the rent and this and this and that. But she was like, this is the price I pay for being in this type of dynamic or business situation.
Yeah.
Not once in that article, she said she had love for him, but it's like, not once did you speak about why you really liked him, or why he may have really liked you. Everything just seemed very, I'm young, my body looked good, and he got money, what's tea?
You're right. And that is a huge part that is missing. Why do you like this person? Why are you in love with this person?
But
you're sitting here and checking off a list of, he provides this, he provides that, he does this, he does that. okay, but what about him? And this goes back to, this makes sense because when you sit there and view yourself to a certain level, you can't get deeper with another person to a deeper level. If that makes any sense. Let me restate that. When you sit there and you only acknowledge yourself as, I'm physically this, I'm physically that, you cannot expect to foresee the physicalness or very like on the surface things about somebody else. You can't get to that deeper level. So that is why this article very much lacked intimacy, love. What about this relationship is the end all be all for y'all? What about this relationship is the love of your life? What makes this relationship the exceptional out of all of what you've experienced, right?
But I also think the next piece, like maybe we have to come, and like I don't care what y'all do in your relationship because it's not mine, but I think we also have to come to terms with the fact of like everybody not looking for love in marriage or in relationships. Her end goal was security and money, and she got it. And if she happy, if you like it, I love it.
Right.
If you love it, I triple love it. Shit. So I don't know. She seems happy, or you're trying to convince us that you're happy. I think this essay, they were saying on TikTok, this essay falls into the category of Delulu person essay, which like it high key does, like the Delulu person of it all. But I think that it almost to me felt like this is you trying to convince the world and convince yourself why it was worth marrying older.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to be like, okay, but look at me, like this is why you should marry 10 years older.
But it really missed the mark.
But it missed the mark.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it. You almost made me look like, okay, bitch, maybe I don't want to marry older. Shit. Could have turned me away from that.
She made me not want to get married at all, because it's like you sat there and you shitted on people dating in their 20s, and then you sat there and was just like, well, you should just settle.
And if I was your friend, I just might stop speaking to you, because it's like, girl, you
that's ugly. That's ugly.
And she also called out her brother and his girlfriend too, and that would have bothered me as well.
Right, because that's not your business to speak on.
Because she was like, yeah, my brother has this girlfriend, and his girlfriend taught him how to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I know they won't get married. And
imagine you're reading that as your brother.
It was weird. It was weird.
That's insane.
I don't think it's not, I wouldn't put this on the cut. I just think the writer just like, I think it was written well. Like, I think it was written very well.
I just think they knew this story would get this kind of press. So that's why they put it out.
Pick another topic, babes. You wasn't good on this one.
I'm weak. I think that was the end of the episode.
This was a long one, y'all.
It was a long one. Ooh.
She's long.
Okay, thick.
She's
2 C's.
THIQUE, word to Beyonce Renaissance Act 1. Yeah, she's thick.
And with that being said, cheers, bitch.
Cheers, bitch. Better watch those B words
before you end up in the ocean.